In this video, we are going to look at how to express one number as a percentage of another number, such as expressing 15 as a percentage of 25 or expressing 240 grams as a percentage of 320 grams. The idea behind these types of problems is to begin by expressing the numbers as a fraction and then convert that fraction into a percentage by multiplying it by 100. To start with the first example, where we need to express 15 as a percentage of 25, we begin by forming the fraction 15 over 25, and then we convert that fraction to a percentage by multiplying it by 100. If you're allowed to use a calculator, then you can simply enter this into it, and you'll quickly arrive at your answer. However, if you are not using a calculator, it is often helpful to simplify the fraction first to make the calculation easier. In this case, 15 over 25 simplifies to 3 over 5, and then we multiply 3 by 100, which gives us 300, and divide that by 5 to get 60. So the final answer in this example is 60%. Moving on to the next example, we are asked to express 240 grams as a percentage of 320 grams. We follow the exact same method. The fact that the quantities include units does not change the process. We simply take the numbers 240 and 320 and form the fraction 240 over 320. Then we multiply this fraction by 100 to convert it to a percentage, and we get the final result of 75%. Now, let us explore an example that involves decimal numbers. For instance, we are asked to express 0.3 as a percentage of 1.5. Although this may appear more difficult due to the decimal points, it actually works in exactly the same way. We begin by creating the fraction 0.3 over 1.5, and then multiply it by 100 to get 20%. If you are not using a calculator, it can be helpful to eliminate the decimals first. For example, by multiplying both the numerator and denominator by 10, we convert 0.3 over 1.5 into 3 over 15, which is easier to work with. This fraction can be simplified further by dividing both the top and bottom by 3, which gives us 1 over 5. Multiplying 1 by 100 gives us 100, and dividing that by 5 results in 20. So we again arrive at the same answer of 20%. Let us now consider a slightly more complex example where we are asked to express 1.2 kilograms as a percentage of 800 grams. Here we face two complications. First, the two values are expressed in different units, one in kilograms and one in grams, so we must convert them to the same unit to proceed accurately. It is typically easier to convert 1.2 kilograms into grams, which we do by multiplying by 1,000, giving us 1,200 grams. Second, the numerator 1,200 is larger than the denominator 800, making the fraction top-heavy or improper. We then express this as 1,200 over 800, and when we multiply this by 100, we get 150. This tells us that 1.2 kilograms is 150% of 800 grams. It is important to remember that if your numerator is greater than your denominator, then your resulting percentage will exceed 100%. Finally, let us look at a word problem, which is a common format in exams. Suppose the value of a new car decreases by £4,000 in its first year, and the original price of the car was £32,000. We are asked to find the percentage decrease in its value. To solve this, we first identify that we are trying to find out what percentage 4,000 is of 32,000, so we take the fraction 4,000 over 32,000 and multiply it by 100, which gives us the answer of 12.5%. That tells us the car's value dropped by 12.5% in its first year. This kind of question is essentially the same as all the others we have looked at, except that it is presented within a real-life scenario and requires identifying the relevant numbers yourself. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully, everything we covered made good sense and help to deepen your understanding of how to express one number as a percentage of another. If you found this explanation useful, then please do consider sharing it with your friends, and we will look forward to seeing you again in another video very soon. Thank you, and goodbye.